Hello guys and welcome back to another video. This time we're going to be reacting to the swamp biome video that we received yesterday, the day before, Friday. It was Friday, goodness me, it's Sunday now. There are some interesting things that I think we should talk about, and also I'm going to mention what I plan to do with it. But why am I talking? Let's get into it. So starting off, we have this very beautiful, I say beautiful right off the bat. It's not really beautiful, it's very solemn and very dreary and dark. And I wanted to pause it just here actually, because I've noticed that there are, I'm gonna have to check this in game because I'm pretty sure that the reflections in the water aren't as common. Also, is this a little glow? It's a little glow from something. I hadn't actually picked up on that. But I love how we can see all of these reflections. I'm really interested to see if we have them in game, because this is going to be one thing that we can really do, really play around with it in our factories to make them stand out more. There's something very beautiful about architecture and then kind of blending that in with the environment, and reflections from water really add to that. Some of my best photography outside of the game has come from reflection photography. Not that I'm very good at photography, but it's something to bear in mind. But anyway, I don't know if that's just part of the recording asset or if this is actually part of the game. Going to have to wait to find that, but we're going to carry on with this. I love how they've also changed these trees. So before, were these the willows? Were these the willows? Certainly they kind of have this like dead willow look with all this moss hanging. No, I think these were already here. Yeah, you've got the moss over here, but I certainly like this kind of appeal to the tree. I wonder if they'll make this a starting biome. Certainly they could on top of this area here at the top of the cliffs, because there's so many raw resources there. It's like a perfect start. But I would love to have more like starting sections to the map, and I'd be quite down for one in the swamp, despite how solemn and dull it looks. It's like beautiful in its own right. Here we have over here a alpha. Now I was watching it to see if it does any kind of change in its behavior, but there's nothing that I could spot. And this is the magical moment, right? Before, like, what do you think this is? At first I thought it was a potential new creature. It could be a new creature. And then it was mentioned that this yolky kind, let's go back to it. This yolky kind of wobbly jelly looks a bit like has the same kind of feel as the fairies that pop from those sacks and then attack us. Could this be a new fairy plant? I'm sorry, I have no other word for it other than fairy plant, but could it be that? And if not, could it be the spiders? Could this be where they spawn? Because obviously in the next scene we see one of our little friends appear here. And it's interesting how they have the arachnophobic mode on here, but you actually see another one without it later on. But for a moment, I just want to go back here. I think there's another interesting moment that you may not have picked up on, because this is just so distracting, right? Notice how the weather is, it's raining. It's quite dreary and wet. I also love how, let's go back, how slow it is. But could this mean that the weather dynamics are confirmed for update 6? Or is this just them trying it out, testing it and seeing how it looks? I don't know, but I'm really excited for it. Really happy to have dynamic weather, different types of weather available in game if that's the case. Something that I think will really add to the atmosphere of the game and make the world feel more alive, which is something that I really enjoy in games. I like to feel immersed in them, which is why when it comes to the climates or different aliens, whether they're passive or aggressive, I love having it. And why we did the New Planet series. If you haven't checked that out, do check it out. It's one of my favorite videos that we did a while back. We're gonna have to redo the series for this, I think. But carrying on, this also has a very going back to this, has a very like xenomorph kind of feel to it. You know, the little egg sacs opening and then the little face hugger like jumping out. Oh, I hope it's not one of them. There are kind of similarities between this game and the Alien like franchise and Prometheus that you can kind of vaguely bring together. But the idea of this is absolutely terrifying to me. And we also have this in the background, the kind of story. I want to talk about the story more at some point, but the whole like biological weapon, there's a disease on Earth, and the actual story line, and how we're all androids, potentially. That's how I feel, which obviously ties into the Xenomorph story as well. But this whole very dark, gloomy feel to the swamp biome is incredible. And I really, like this would be perfect for like a secret weapons facility. I can really like see this being the place where I build my nuclear Nobelisk, or my pulse Nobelisk, and all the rifle rounds. Something that I'm really interested in here. But let me know what you think. Firstly, is going to be that little hatchling thing. Is that a spider? Is that a new bee plant? Or is it a different alien altogether? It definitely looks aggressive if it is a new one. But let me know in the comments section below, as well as what you plan to do with this and what you think of the weather dynamics. Just, I cannot wait for it to arrive to experimental. But anyway, guys, we are going to leave it there. Special thanks does go to all of our supporters, most notably our Totalxclipse patrons, The Calamity, Cerebral Tag, James Irwin, Jerry 2, Podcack, and Firefless, as well as our Lunas, Dixie Chris, Lord of July, and Ben, as well as our Blood Moon, which today is Chick Norris. Until next time, as always, ciao for now.